This is a CCEA Maths M6, paper 2, the one with the calculator, and it's from January 2020. Let's take a look at question 1. Some places in Northern Ireland are shown on the map. The scale is 1 centimetre represents 15 kilometres. A bird flies directly from Keady to Larne. What is the actual distance the bird flies? So if we measure here then from Keady to Larne, be as accurate as you possibly can. Now, I'm not quite so sure about the answer to this one within the answer book, because it seems a wee bit off from mine, but I'm reading there as 5.7. Now it lets me away with 5.7, so that's 5.7 centimetres. If my scale is 1 centimetre to 15 kilometres, I'm going to do 5.7 times by 15. And that gives me then 85.5. Whether it's the way it comes out from the photocopy, but 85.5 is the answer according to my map. Ballymoney is 30 kilometres due east of Limavady. Mark Ballymoney on the map with an X. So 30 kilometres, and it's 1 centimetre to 15 kilometres, so we're going to go 2 centimetres east then of Limavady. So our north is facing this way, so we're going to go then 2 centimetres east. There's 1, 2. Sure, we're as accurate as we can here. And I do my X there. And so that's going to be Ballymoney. Okay. Question 2. You can use this graph to change between stones and kilograms. Use the graph to change 30 stones into kilograms. So here's 30 stones here. We want to go up. And then we're going to go across. And reading off my graph then, 150, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I'm going to go for 190 kilograms. Nick orders 900 kilograms of topsoil. Use the graph to change 900 kilograms into stones. Show clearly how you use the graph. So it doesn't go up to 900 kilograms, but if we pick something nice and easy like 300, and once we get our answer to that, if it times it by 3, so I'm going to go across here at 300 and be as accurate again as I can. Going that way. Another time then I was going that way. I think it crosses there. And if I read that off there, that's 42, 44, 46. So that's going to be 47. So we have that 300 is going to be 47. So 900 is going to be 47 times by 3. And I think that gives us then 141 stones. Question 3, change 40 miles into kilometres. Well, our way of changing miles into kilometres is to multiply by 8 over 5, so it's 40 times 8 over 5. And if I put that into my calculator, then I get 64. You can do a couple of them. You can put it in terms of fraction if you wanted. You could do 40 divided by 5 times by 8, and that would work then as well. Question 4. Sarah read the following instructions to draw a triangle. Using a ruler, draw an 8 centimetre horizontal line from A. So here is point A. My line then is going to be 8 centimetres. It then says label the other end B. Place a protractor at a point A on the baseline AB and measure an angle of 40 degrees. Mark it with a dot. So we want to place this then at A. So you can see I've set it up as accurate as I can. My protractor's not great here. And there's 40 degrees. So we have that. Draw a line 12 centimetres from A through my dot. Quite often a compass is good for this, to draw your 12, to make it 12 centimetres long, but that's okay. It's going through my dot, which is good, and I want to make it 12 centimetres long. So I've gone then to here, label the end of the line C, and then it says join C to B. And we end up then with that. Okay. Question 5. Draw a parallelogram with sides of length 5 centimeters and 3 centimeters. I have bad news for you here, folks. Unfortunately, I don't have a compass, but I'm going to try and do a wee pause and a cheat here to see if we can try and make it work. Here's my 5 centimeter line here, and then I'm going to draw my 3 going up that way here. And the way we should really be doing this is we set our compass at 5 centimeters, put the point here, and then measure here, and you end up getting a little arc like that. You then set your compass to 3 centimeters, because remember our line is a parallelogram, so there's 3 going up here. So we want our 3 then to be going this way here, and you set it then at 3 centimeters and you do your arc here. Where these two lines cross each other then should be our final point, and that's the proper way then to draw a parallelogram. As I say, I am embarrassed about this, but I don't have my compass with me, so we'll just do our cheat here and try and be as accurate as I can. But it should be where those two lines cross each other, and where the two lines cross each other according to your compass is where you should be doing your dot then for the last bit. I hope that makes sense. Okay, number 5, the probability that it will rain tomorrow is 0.4. Mark with an X on the scale the probability that it will not rain tomorrow. The probability it will rain is 0.4. The probability it's not going to rain is 0.6, taking that away from 1. So there's 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would put our X here. Fair dice has the numbers 1, 2, 2, 4, 5 and 8 marked on its faces. Explain clearly why the probability of getting a prime number is less than the probability of getting an even number. So the probability of a prime, what primes are we going to have? So 1 isn't a prime, but we have 2 and 2 and 5. So that'll be 3 out of 6 for a prime. We can cancel that down, but we won't do for the minute. The probability of an even. So 1, 2, 3, 4 evens, so that's 4 out of 6. Explain clearly why the probability of getting a prime number is less than the probability of getting an even number. Obviously then 3/6 is less than 4/6 is the answer we're looking for. Question 6. Alan wants to take his family on a 13-night trip to Florida. He must pay for 4 adults and 3 children. His children will be charged at half the rate. He had planned to go at Christmas, but now will go in April. How much extra will he have to pay? Show all your working. So where's Christmas? So that's 16th of November to the 17th of January. So there's our Christmas one that we want. And then he's going to go in April, so that's in between March and June, so we want this one here. So let's work out our two totals and then we can find the difference in between them. So for Christmas it's going to be 1899, that's for an adult, and then for a child it's going to be half of that. £949.50. And he's taking, how many is he taking? 4 adults. So we're timesing that by 4 and we're timesing that by 3. 284850. So it's 284850. And then 1899 times 4. This is 7596. That means the total here is going to be 7596 plus 284850, and that gives us £10444.50. Okay, so we've worked out our Christmas price. Now our price in April. Our adult is 2149. And our child then is going to be half of that. 2149 divided by 2 is £1,074.50. So we're trying to work out 3 children and 4 adults. So times this by 3 first of all, because it's already in my calculator. That gives me 3,223.50. 3,223.50. And then 2149 times 4, 8,596. So their total, 8,596 plus 3,223.50 comes to £11,819.50. What does the question ask? How much extra will he have to pay? So we then need to do 11819.50, and we're going to subtract. And so we get the extra cost then is, hopefully I can read that in my calculator, the light's not great, 1375, 1,365. Question 6. Here are the first 3 terms of a number sequence. Write down the 8th term in this number sequence. So what's happening here? It's take away 6. And so we're going to take away 6 again. So take away 6 from this would give me 72. Take away 6 from this would give me 66. Take away 6 from this would give me 60. Take away 54. Many numbers is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one more, and it's going to be 48. Daniel says 5 cannot be a term in this number sequence. Is Daniel correct or not? Explain why. Well, suppose you just go all the way down and make sure it doesn't hit 5. But I recognize those numbers 66, 60, 54. They're all multiples of 6. So he is not correct. Sorry, explains it cannot be a term. He is correct. I'm losing my mind here. He's correct because they are multiples of 6. Question 8. A spinner consists of a circular wheel which is divided into 8 sectors numbered 1 to 8 in the diagram. When spun, the arrow will point to one of the sectors. What is meant if the spinner is described as a fair spinner? Well, if it's a fair spinner, then there's an equal chance of it landing in each one. Equal chance for each number. The spinner is not fair. The probability of the arrow pointing to the sector numbered 7 is 0.15. Work out the probability that it does not point to the number 7. So that's just going to be then 1 minus 0.15, and that gives us then 0.85. Question 9. There are 648 pupils in a school. The ratio of boys to girls is 4 to 5. How many girls are in the school? So we need to do 4 plus 5, which is going to be 9. And then we need to do 648 divided by 9. So 648 divided by 9 then gives us 72. So our ratio is 4 to 5, and that's for boys to girls. So to work out how many girls we have, we're going to have 5 times by 72, and if we do 5 times by 72, that's going to be then 360. Question 10. Instructions for fizzy juice. Mix 3 parts fruit juice with 7 parts lemonade. Molly has 600 mils of fruit juice. She also has 1800 mils of lemonade. What's the maximum number of litres of fizzy juice that she can make? Well, it's hard to see this, but there's 3 times as much lemonade as there is fruit juice, and there's not three parts. You know what I mean? You wouldn't need 9 parts here. So it's all to do with the fruit juice. And so 600 is equal to 200 times 3. So 1 part then is going to be 200, and that's going to be the maximum then we're going to make. So that means if we go within 200 times by 7, we're going to get 1400 of lemonade. Again, hopefully you can see that. So we're going to have 600 mils of fruit juice and 1400 of lemonade. That gives us 2000, and we're in mils here, of the fizzy juice. And so our answer then is going to be 2 litres. Question 11. Enlarge the rectangle shown using a scale factor of 2, centre of enlargement 0, 0. So here is 0, 0, and we just need to count squares for each corner. To get from here to here, we go across 2 and up 2. So at scale factor 2, we need to double that. Instead of going across 2 and up 2, we're going to go across 4 and up 4. Similarly for this one, back 2 and up 2. So instead of going 2 and 2, go back to here, and we go 4 and 4. This corner, across 2, down 1, back to here. Instead of going across 2 and down 1, we go across 4 and down 2. And then across 2, down 1. Instead of going across 2, down 1, we go back to here, across 4 and down 2. So our new shape then should appear if we join up our lines. And that should be us in scale factor 2. Question 12. In America, Dave bought a book for $28. The exchange rate was $1.81p. In France, Evie bought a book for €25. The exchange rate was £1, €1.09. Who paid more and how much more? Load of different ways of doing this, but I'm going to change everything into pence or pounds, and we'll suss out then from there. So if we paid $28, how are we going to work out how much that is in pounds? That's going to be then 28 times 0.81, and that gives me £22.68. For here, the exchange rate is £1 is 1.09, so this is now given the other way around. We need to be really careful here. So it's going to be 25 divided by 1.09, and that gives us £22.94. So that's Evie paid £22.94 and Dave paid £22.68. Who paid more and how much more? So it was Evie, and by 26p. Just be careful with these. You can set them up in ratios if you want, if you wanted to do it that way. So 1 to 81, and then we know it's $28. So here's the dollar bit, so it's 28. What do I do to this? I times by 28, so I'm timesing then by 28, and that would give me about £22.68, just in case that makes more sense to you. People really struggle with this wee bit here. And then if we want to do it this way here, 1.09, and then it's the euro is 22.94. So you can't quite do it that way. You need to kind of be careful. So you're dividing by 1.09 there. If you wanted, work out what you divide and then multiply by, but you end up then with 22.94. Sorry, that was a 20. It should be 25 here, and then the 22.94. All right. This is trial and improvement. Then the equation x cubed plus 3x is 25 has a solution between 2 and 3. Use trial and improvement to find the method to this solution. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. You must show all your working. So if it's between 2 and 3, the decent place to start then is going to be 2.5. So we would then do 2.5 cubed plus 2.5 times 3. So 2.5 power 3. Plus 2.5 times 3, and that gives us 23.125, which isn't too far away, but it is too small. Let's try 2.6. 2.6 cubed plus 2.6 times 3, 25.376. Now, this looks like it's going to be closer, but we always need to check, so you need to be careful. So we got to go to halfway. So halfway in between 2.5 and 2.6, 2.55, 2.55 cubed plus 2.55 times by 3. Oh, no, let's try that again. What was it? 2.5555 cubed plus 2.55 times 3 equals 24.23. And the fact that 2.55 gives me a lower value than 25 means that 2.6 is the answer then that I require. So right down at the bottom here we can write 2.6. Question 14. The first four terms of a sequence are this. Write down an expression for the nth term of the sequence. So I always number them. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next thing is I find the gap. So the gap every time here is going to be 5. That means my sequence starts off with a 5n. I then put the number 1 into this formula here. 5 times 1 gives me 5, but I actually want a 2. So what do I do to the 5 to get a 2? I take away 3. I always think it's wise to check that it works for some other numbers. So let's try it for the number 3. 5 times 3 gives me 15. Take away 3 gives me 12. So it looks like I'm good. So my answer then is 5n minus 3. Question 15. Again, I'm going to let you down here with my lack of compass. But shade the region inside the rectangle which is more than 5 centimeters from P and more than 3 centimeters from the line QR. So the line QR, it's a bit like the locus here, and we want it to be 3 centimeters away. So 3 centimeters away from the line QR is going to be here. So we have to shade everything this side here, and then 5 centimeters. Again, I'm going to fail miserably here because I don't have my compass with me, but here is what you're supposed to do. If you're a little bit more organized than me, you set your compass here, pointy bit here, pencil bit here, and we draw then with our compass this circle here. This is going to be less than 5 centimeters. This then is more than 5 centimeters, so the bit they want us to shade is this bit here. Question 16. A survey is carried out to find out the number of electric cars on the road. 100 cars are surveyed for each of 4 days. The results are recorded in the following table along with the relative frequencies. Work out the missing relative frequency and record it in the table. So how do we work out the relative frequencies? There's nearly a bit of a clue there for this. So for the first day it's 11 divided by 100 to give that. Second day they have a better idea what's going on, so it's then going to be 11 plus a 12, which is 23. 23 divided by now 200 because they've surveyed 200 cars. 23 then plus our 16, what does that give? 39. So here it's 39 divided by 300, and for us we want to do 39 plus a 9, which gives us 48. So we want to do 48 divided by 400, and that gives us 0.12. What would be the best estimate for the probability the car is chosen at random is electric? It's going to be the one we have. It's going to be the 0.12 one, because that's the one where they've surveyed most cars.